Welcome back to the TBR Podcast Book Club. Kind of
Deep
dive
club.
We're your hosts. I'm Kelcie.
And I'm Bree.
And welcome to part 2. We are deep diving into Sunrise on the Reaping, chapters 6 through 9.
Yeah.
If you didn't watch our part 1, going through chapters 1 through 5, what?
Hurry.
Go check it out.
Because the connections? It
was like 2 hours long, but like it needed to be 2 hours long.
Had to be. I feel like moving forward, it won't be as long.
No.
Yeah.
Because everything, we were like talking about this beforehand. It was just like so much.
Jam-packed.
Especially in the first chapter. She really said, y'all asked, I give. She really feeds us.
Gagged us.
Yeah.
And then she ended on a
fucking
note.
Yeah. Spoilers ahead for all of the Hunger Games universe, the trilogy, the books, the movies, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes books and movie, and the whole Sunrise on the Reaping book. We did read the whole thing, and that's why we're deep diving.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. Tell us what happened.
Lulu died.
Not Lulu.
Luella died.
Luella. Our girl, our sweetheart.
Our sweetheart.
I'll still never get over that.
It's crazy, because when we first met her, I'm like, oh, this is going to be our Rue. I might have said this in the other one. Like, this is going to be our Rue.
Yep.
This one's going to hurt. We didn't even get to the gate.
We've already lost 2
District
12 tributes. Because Chance, or Woodbine Chance, he was a tribute. And he ran, got shot.
Yep.
And now Luella, dead from the chariots.
Okay. Starting at chapter 6.
Yep.
Luella, boom, dead.
Did you highlight the first quote? You didn't even do that?
No, I did feel it though. I was very sparse with the things. I'm like, bro, I don't have enough.
Okay, well, it ate me up. So I'm gonna read it for you guys.
Read it.
A dead mockingjay chick. Eyes still bright, feathers blue-black in the sunlight, clawed feet empty on a bed of moss. Lenore Dove stroked its plumage with her fingertip. Poor baby, poor little bird. Who will sing your songs now? Okay, not only do we get, it's a mockingjay.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's a baby chick. Yep. And on a bed of moss made me think of Rue. And the song, the meadow song. Deep in the meadow, under the willow, a bed of grass, a soft green pillow.
She was like, yeah, this is gonna be Rue.
Now, before the games. Also, though, can I just say, I'm kind of sad that song isn't in this book.
I know.
Because that's my favorite song of the whole, Hunger Games universe.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah. I don't even, it wasn't in the movie, I know, a ballad. Was it in the book?
A ballad?
I know, I can't remember.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. I feel like vaguely it was, and I was excited to see it in the movie, but then it wasn't in the movie. But maybe that's just I wanted it in both.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have to look back on that.
If you remember, let us know in the comments. Because that's my favorite. And I would have died to hear Rachel Zegler sing that.
Oh my god. Just how we hear it in the other movies and books, whatever, it's like, oh, there's a tune, and then when she does it back in the day with that tune.
I need her. I'm gonna call her up.
Call her up.
I'm gonna be like, hey
Ray.
Can you please just
I
do
need
this
that.
one thing for me?
I need that.
And sing it with your beautiful voice.
Yeah.
She would kill it. And then who will sing your songs now? Luella? She has flown her body.
I will say, though, reading reading through Haymitch's POV, right, obviously. I noticed how, I don't even know the right word. It's more like dead before you even made the arena. And there's another thing like, well, Llewellyn's dead. Like, the way he spoke, it's so like...
The tone of it?
The tone is a lot more, not...
Like deadpan almost?
Almost, you know, like a word like that. I'm just like, oh, he's very like...
Blunt?
Blunt, you know?
But then he's also very flowery.
I know! So I'm like, it's just weird because like comparing to Katniss, like I feel like she wouldn't even really have these thoughts. And like I know they're so similar, like so seeing them in the same light, it's like, wow, he's way more like pessimistic. I don't even know the right word.
I think maybe, and like it's been a little bit since I've read both Ballad and the original trilogy, but Katniss seems to just overthink everything. Because she's constantly, like, worried someone's going to be tricking her or using her.
Yeah.
So she's just, like, always on edge and overthinking, like, okay, well, what do they want? Da-da-da. While Haymitch is just like, well, this is just how it is.
Yeah, he, like...
Blunt,
yeah,
just, like...
It's, like, pragmatic? Is that the right word?
Maybe?
I can't think.
I don't know. And then, but, like, Snow...
Yeah.
He's kind of like a mix, almost. Because he's, like, I just can't let them see the way that I am. Because he's, but like, also, suspicious.
Like, suspicious.
But, like, he's also, like, I'm the one that's overthinking myself. Rather than, like, Katniss, who's overthinking everybody else. He's like, I can't let them know I'm poor. I can't let them know this. Like, I can't let them know I helped, you know, Lucy Gray. I can't let Lucy Gray know I killed Sejong. Like...
Yeah. So it's weird, like, just to... But, Haymitch? Yeah, she's dead.
Yeah.
Anyways... I also think that Maisley, like the way he's talked about her before, you know, how we know her, you know, she's very like stuck up and likes her jewelry and she was kind of rude and da-da-da. But then even chapter 6, she pulls off one of her necklaces. I was going to give this to her for her token, so she has something from home. And like later in the chapters that we're going to go through, like you can see how like...
She's very loving.
She's very empathetic and loving, and the way she expresses her like love or the way she communicates through like things and like doing things for others. So it's weird to see like, oh, you're kind of painted like a villain, which you might have been, but like there's a lot more depth to her.
But see now, like that makes me think of maybe it's like Haymitch who was putting that on her. Like maybe he didn't really know her that well. Yeah. Because he was like, oh, well, she's rich in terms of district. So he's like, oh, well, she's just stuck up. Like, she only hangs out with her sister and Astrid, who are also, like, rich by district standards. Yeah. But maybe it's because everybody else has alienated her because they assume she's going to be, like, capital. And so, you know, those people in that bracket, tax bracket, whatever, they're like, oh, well, you know, we're not going to judge each other because we know.
So I can also see her being like, since they already think this thing of me, like, I'm going to be defensive because if I try to be friends, I'm already alienated, you know? Right. So that's why I like,
why try? Let me put up that barrier.
But she really is like, little softy.
Aw, that just makes me like her more.
I know! It's like, girl. Okay.
And then, again, like you were saying, Maisley giving her necklace and stuff, and Haymitch saying she likes flowers. Again, it just made me think of Rue.
Yeah. Yes.
And then this. Yep. This is not the blood they want to paint their posters with.
Like we don't want to show this, our lighting up their incompetence. Because this is not what the poster was. It's not what we want.
We are not supposed to be the...
We control the narrative.
Yep.
Propaganda.
Yep. Yeah, to
Which
hide...
is like...
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
I was just going to read. To hide her tidily in a wooden box along with their crimes.
That's what I'm saying, like... Who... Like, we only want to show the death in the games or how we're controlling it. But, like, why wouldn't they want to show the chaos? There's lack of control on their end?
One, yeah, because Snow is all about control.
He sure is.
But then the second part of that is the whole point of the games is to show that, oh, these district people, they're just animals again with the dehumanization, but they're killing each other. We're not killing them.
Like, what is it? If we're back from Songbird and Snakes or Ballad, if we put all these people in a room with weapons, they're going to end up turning on each other and blah, blah, blah. So, like, highlighting that, so.
Yeah. Even though it's like, again, you're the one putting them in this situation.
Yeah.
You're, especially as it has grown to what it is now. It's like, you guys are forcing them.
Yeah.
Or either you kill them with the mutts or
That's
the
what I'm
landscape.
saying.
Yeah.
I was like, there's a point where, like, we're not going to kill each other. That's why you throw in mutts. That's why you throw in all this other shit to, like, force their hand, you know?
But they don't see it that way. And that's the whole propaganda is they don't want the capital citizens to see it that way.
Yep.
And then
What?
Haymitch gets his first, I feel like this is his first true thought of rebellion. Where he's like, oh, well, maybe this is where I paint my own poster.
Exactly.
Like, this is where I can do something. And this, to me, is the difference between Haymitch and Katniss.
Okay.
Haymitch understands from the beginning.
From the jump.
That anything he does will be political.
Yeah.
Including this.
Okay.
While Katniss, love her to death.
Love her to death?
But she doesn't see it that way, and it doesn't connect in her brain that way.
Because this is more like me to Snow, just be like, fuck you. You know, but like...
Katniss is just, this is her emotional response, like, of, you know, making Rue look beautiful with the flowers.
Because that wasn't to make a stand. I was like, she deserves to have her own, because she was beautiful to me. I loved her like a sister, you know?
Yeah.
So it was just for that.
While this, which I think is kind of like a parallel to that, because, of course, Luella is giving Rue, Haymitch is giving Katniss in this moment, and he's doing it on purpose. And that's the difference. I just gave myself chills.
Literally got chills. So good. Okay, what we got down here? What
yeah, I got a lot of stuff. So, panache. Is that how you say it?
I said it. That's how I said it.
Panache.
Panache.
Little panache. So, him being in District 1, a career.
Yep.
He's trying to still go. And he's like, he wants to be the only tribute who makes it to the president's mansion by chariot, a grand entrance for a future victor. But the horses resist, stamping their feet and throwing back their heads. Silka removes one of her fancy stiletto heels and begins to beat the flank of the outside horse, drawing blood. And to me, what did we just see like a couple pages earlier?
Yeah.
We saw Drusilla hitting Maisley with the
whip or whatever.
Yeah. And so it's like she's trying to be like the Capitol.
Yep.
Like these trained careers in District 1. It's like, if we're like the Capitol, they'll accept us as one of them or something.
Yeah. And see how they treat things that they see as like below them, like animals and stuff like that. It's just disgusting.
Yep. And then Panache had a great idea, and now I'm stealing it right out from under him. Because Haymitch is like, oh, yeah, no, I'll steal a horse chariot and I'll do this.
Take that from you.
And so I was just wondering if that was like going to be like a foreshadow that maybe Haymitch was going to see Panache or one of the other district people do something, and he would steal the idea.
Yeah, like use it to his advantage.
Yeah, but that didn't really happen.
I mean, kind of like came back to bite him in a way from Panache, you know?
I guess.
A little bit.
Yeah.
He's like, damn, he's kind of mad about that.
Oh, he's still mad.
He's mad.
And then here we get our first look at Snow in this book, in this era.
Yeah.
Era. The most powerful and brutal person in Panem. He stands calm and erect, surveying the calamity of the opening ceremony. His head dips slightly and a lacquered, silvery, blonde curl falls onto his forehead. Our eyes meet, and a smile plays on his lips. No anger, no outrage, and certainly no fear. I have not impressed him with my performance. The reckless mountain boy with the dead girl in his arms seems foolish, a trifle amusing, and nothing more.
Pause. One, he's probably fucking fuming.
Oh, he is.
He is fuming. But he's like, I gotta make sure, because the camera's gonna be on me, he's in front, I gotta make it seem like he's like throwing a tantrum. How silly. Like, I gotta make sure, keep appearances. But in the back of his mind, this better not be a fucking Lucy Gray, I swear to God, you know? Yeah. Okay, continue, because I'm right there.
And then he's pissed, Haymitch, because he's like, you're on a high horse, mister. And someday someone will knock you off it straight into your grave.
AKA Katniss.
Hey. And then him with Luella, he puts her down, taking a step back so Snow can't pretend he doesn't see her broken little bird body. Then I gesture to him and begin to applaud, giving credit where credit is due.
Oh!
That fucking slays. Everything in every other sentence in this, I'm just like, no, that ate me up.
No, literally.
I'm like, gagged.
I was like, Haymitch, you're my guy.
I don't want to know what goes on in his brain.
Cold chills.
In the whole Hunger Games trilogy. I know he's drunk, but you know what? He's probably still spitting.
I didn't see his POV.
He's spitting things like this.
Yeah.
Give him credit where credit is due.
Here you go.
Yeah, he did that.
Woo.
I love that. Spin this, Plutarch.
No, literally.
Plutarch's probably like, fuck.
He's like, fuck, I don't like but that's my guys. I gotta
clean
it up. Yeah.
And this does get his attention.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, does this remind him of Lucy Gray?
Because then the blue eyes narrow, but he's not focused on my face. Is he looking at my flint striker?
Oh, boy. He's like, there's a snake and a bird. No.
Not Lucy. She's coming back for me. Yeah. Yeah. Ugh.
And then this is just fucking crazy.
It just shows. It just fucking shows. How brainwashed, how out of touch the Capitol people are.
Yeah. It's truly like a dog fight.
Literally. Like we're at a zoo and they're trying to get their attention.
Yeah. Oh, you spit on him?
Hey, what's your name? What's your name? Do you want a, what do they call them?
From 12 Kid.
Oh yeah, sponsors.
Boy.
Like, don't you want sponsors? But you can't know who you are. Like, I literally just picture, I'm at a zoo.
Yeah.
There's men throwing snacks and food and whistling, trying to get like.
Yep. And they love it when he spits on the guy, which is crazy.
But just shows like, oh,
so
look at the animal roaring.
Yeah.
Like, ugh, disgusting.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Anything else out there?
No. I was just like still processing Luella being dead.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Wyatt though? Well, our odds have improved slightly with the crash. All of District 6 is injured and 10 beat up. And Luella's dead. I was just like, oh. Yeah. It's like, Wyatt, not the right time.
And then, but Haymitch here, he's like, and just what odds do you think your pa's giving you on the winning, Wyatt? And Wyatt even says, about 40-1.
Yup. Guess you're a long shot for your pa to hold you so cheap.
Oh. Oh. Yeah.
Crazy. That also shows, like, were they, what's the implying that Wyatt is on the spectrum?
Oh.
Like, the way he was written and stuff?
I think just the way that he's, kind of socially awkward.
Yeah.
And the way that he's so analytical.
Yeah, and like good. With the statistics.
Which, like, I mean, that's just people, like, jumping to conclusions in that way.
Do you see it that way, though?
I think that I think that it'd be a cool aspect to have that in here.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you have people of all sorts in real life. Why wouldn't you see all sorts of people?
I feel like it's on purpose. I feel like she did write him to be like, what's the word?
On the spectrum?
I mean, yeah, but like...
Diversity?
When they haven't specifically stated, but they like frame it that way, so you get like, I forget what the word is.
Because, like, I know, obviously, in Battle of Songbirds and Snakes, in the movie, they made, what was the little girl's name?
Bro.
I forgot her name. But they cast
Down syndrome.
a child. Yeah, Down syndrome. And then they also had, like, someone who had, like, a limb.
Yeah.
Like, that sort of thing, which was amazing. And I think there was the limb difference in the book that was specified.
Yeah.
But I can't remember if the little girl was specified as having Down syndrome.
I want to say I want to say yes.
Yeah, it's been so long.
You know,
since
I can't remember if it was just my reaction to the movie or I was like, or if it was the book as well, where I was like, nah.
I just remember her like still being like super like young and just like Lucy.
I think she
and
was.
Everyone.
I want to say she was. Or like it was implied, like how they were writing it.
Okay, I'll have to go back. I know it's like everything.
Yeah.
But they do the movie so well.
Yes.
And like that's the fact that like I'm mixing it up.
I know.
Because like when it comes to Harry Potter, I'm like, no, I know
we
this
know exactly what's here, exactly what's here.
Yeah. But like Hunger Games, it's like they really did mesh it so well.
Close, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we also get his little quote. Swallowing the sadness, because they will not use my tears for their entertainment.
Yep. Best thing.
Oh.
And this is, I think, the very first time that we are getting every single tribute's name listed, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Well, in this book or in all the books?
In all the books?
I think in Songbird they did have.
They did?
They did, yeah. Okay. And then I crossed it out as they went.
Oh, got you. Yeah. But the fact that here, Haymitch clocks it right away. He says, we don't seem to rate last names.
Yeah.
Again, it's a dehumanization factor. It's a way to dehumanize them. Because if they're just a name, you know, you can give an animal a name.
That's just whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, boom, boom. It's like, oh.
Then they belong to someone. Yeah. They belong to a family. And you take that away? No.
The little details.
Yeah.
Because they definitely had last names.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
In Songbird.
And I love that like this comes back later. Mm-hmm. Because it's like Maisley and Haymitch trying to remember their names. Like, oh yeah, no, wasn't it, you know, it was Urchin and Miles and Welly. Yeah. Again, it's like they themselves are trying to give as much as they can to their fellow tributes. Because it's like, it's almost like no hard feelings, bro.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like I had to.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird thing. Just because it's like, yeah, we all come into this knowing that we have to kill each other. Only one of us can live. But we all know that we're being forced to do it. And none of us want to be here. But it's also like I have to win. Yeah. Because self-preservation.
Right.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
And then the levels to know that they're all kids too. It's just like.
Yeah. That too.
Yeah.
And then we get little Amber.
This small boy. I already know the movies are they're gonna get me so good.
Yeah.
They're gonna get me so good.
Because he's 12. How old is it? 12? Is that the starting point?
I think it was 11.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
I know.
I think it literally was mentioned in the first one.
I know.
I'm such a
I think
fake
it's like
fan.
11 to 18.
Yeah. We're gonna say it. So Amperich is like, hey.
He's like, hello.
Okay.
Bet I could take these off? I think I could.
Yeah, I did.
And then he does. He's like, oh, shit.
Okay.
This guy's pretty good.
Yeah. But then here is really interesting. So Amber's like, oh yeah, like, do you want to ally with me? Like, do you want to be my ally? And of course, I'm just like, I had an ally and she's dead.
She's dead.
And he's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. But then here, oh, what?
No, I was like, the one you made President Snow own? I love that.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like, oh, the one you like put in front of the president. Like, no, you made him own it.
They understand. Yeah. Which is, again, so different from the Capitol people. It's like you want to think that the Capitol people are above, like, they're higher.
Right.
No, you guys are dumb.
Yeah. Out of touch.
Out of touch. And because I'm sure they think that, like, oh, the district people, like, they're so dumb. Like, they're not even smart. They're like animals.
But then, like, again, that's from propaganda as well.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's like, no, actually, they're smarter than you.
Way. All right, what were you saying?
And so Haymitch was like, okay, well, why don't you go back and ask your district tributes to team up with you? And Ambrick goes, oh, they already have. But I'm trying to build an alliance to counter the careers. I've got all 7 and 8 on board, and 11's thinking it over. Now, I don't know if this is the first of its kind.
Okay.
But this is the first of its kind that we've seen of a multi-district alliance that's not the careers.
Yeah. This looks like the first, from what we know, I think, the first use of that.
That's like more than just two people.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this is...
From the beginning, from the jump.
Yeah. Like before they've even entered the arena.
Right.
It's, what is his district? 8, 5?
3.
Amber? Yeah.
3.
Let's tell the numbers. So 3, 7, 8, possibly 11.
And then times there's 4 on each of those.
Yeah. And then now he's asking for 12.
Yeah.
That's 5 different districts.
Yeah.
Against the typical maybe 3 or 4. Or,
yeah.
No, 3. Because it's 1, 2, and 4.
1, 2, and 4. Yeah.
Yeah, that are the career. So 3.
Yeah. Also, did you hear that theory, though? That, like,
What?
1 and 2 are, like, those are careers.
Yeah.
But 4, they end up being careers, but, like, it's only because they probably trained them so they can live in the game. Like, it wasn't, like
your career.
Your career.
Not the same mindset.
Yeah. It's more like, we just want to make sure you can handle yourself.
Yeah.
You don't get killed.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense because it's like, I should have done more research to remember. Because 4, I know they're the fishing district.
Yeah.
And so that's not a very, like, capital.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
It's hard work.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure 1 and 2 is, like...
Peacekeepers.
And luxury?
And, like, luxury.
So it's like those two, like, peacekeepers, like, they are the soldiers of the capital. Like, you have to be brainwashed enough.
Yeah.
And then luxury, it's like you're so close.
Like, you're basically capital, but just right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, 4, no.
That was a fishing district.
They're fishing.
So why are they careers?
Right. Right. Did you see it? Sorry, I've been seeing everywhere.
What?
Not on this.
Oh, okay.
That the second or the 75th quarter quell, that it was designed specifically for certain victors. So the big wave was for Annie because in her games.
Oh my god, that makes sense.
For Beatty, it was the tree. And then for Katniss, it was the birds.
Yes.
For Haymitch, it was supposed to be the squirrels or like the monkeys because of what happened, which could have also be Beatty's because of what happened to Ampert. And then
what about the fog? Did they say anything about that?
Someone said Mags, but I'm like, no, it's just she died in it. Like, I don't think it was
like to get her.
I think there was something for Wirus, but I can't remember all of it.
Well, I know that is for her.
Oh, and the blood rain was, I think, supposed to be for Joanna.
Because the water, she's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, like, each little part of the clock was supposed to, like, I've seen theories on that recently, which eats. And now I'm like,
no, that's it.
Suzanne?
Speak? No, literally.
Please, my goddess, Suzanne Collins, please preach to me.
Tell us which one was for which.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That's good. That's good. Okay.
And here we get our hands on 2 little mentors.
Yep. So this is the first one. The first one pops in. Because then we see the second one. Right?
Yeah, right here.
Boom.
But yeah.
So who's the first mentor?
The first one. Wirus.
But here's the first thing, right? Hello, I'm Wirus, one of your mentors. Like, also, sorry, I was thinking everything, but like, hey, I'm Wirus, I'm one of your mentors. From the last time we saw you, which TikTok. And everyone was like, yeah, from her games, she got like that.
Yeah, nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
She's nuts, Beatty's bolts.
Before we get to her actual thing real quick, most of the tributes went nuts, but not Wirus.
Again, the propaganda. The fucking way that the Capitol can twist everything, fucking crazy.
It's like, based on this book, all the other Hunger Games could be lies.
Yeah.
Or probably lies.
Yeah. Because, like, even after the fact, even years later, like, I could see them going back to Wyrus's thing and, like, yeah, let's re-edit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. People were also speculating about Annie's games.
Yes.
Have you seen that? And, like, she was potentially... I don't like the... like. People are saying that they were trying to do the same thing that Haymitch did with the water, and that's why there was a tsunami. But I don't think they tried the same thing again.
Wait.
Because it was the big wave of water that washed out most.
Yeah.
And she was the only one who could swim. And she was, like, hiding most of her games.
Right.
That she...
Oh, they're trying to say, like, oh, she was hiding because she was doing what Haymitch was doing?
Yeah, or something. Or, like, she... I don't know. I'd have to, like, go back and see, but there was something like that.
Yeah. Because I think that also, like... Some people were speculating, he had the water tank later. Like, was that, like, a hint to, like, they were prepping for, like, Annie's thing later? Like, I don't know, something like that. Like, the wave was going to be used. I don't know.
Got you.
We'll have to, like, do a little bit more research before we get into these.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we get into detail about her games.
Yeah.
Reflective surfaces, everything. Mm-hmm. Everything shiny.
And it's like you couldn't, like... It's like being in a fun house.
Yes, with the mirrors.
Yeah.
And you're trying to chase somebody and then you run
and
into...
like, yeah, you smack into it and it's like, oh. Have you been in one?
Yeah.
I've been in like one tiny, like it was a small one.
Yeah.
But it is disorienting.
I always try to like see the seam in the ground to like follow the path.
Ooh, that's good.
No, me and Wyrus. That's my game. It's like
You survive.
I survive. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then to know that she outsmarted the games over the Capitol's head.
Yeah.
So I know when they tried to pick her up, they were saying they had to like fly around for an hour. They couldn't even find her.
Yeah.
And so she had to finally come out and be like, all right, yeah, come pick me up.
Like, hey. Yep. And she found a blind spot.
Yeah.
Yep.
But also, why didn't they punish her for that?
Maybe they did, and we just don't know.
Because I was thinking at first, like, before we knew what we see, like, oh, she didn't go crazy because of this, you know. Was it because she found the blind spot that they made her, like, like, made her crazy because of that?
Well, I think they made her crazy because of this.
No, this I know, but before this, before we read this.
Well, I don't think they said that she was crazy here, because it said everyone else went nuts, but not
No,
Wyrus.
I'm saying, like, before us as the readers read this.
Yeah.
Just not reading. Oh, that was her thing. Mm-hmm. Did she go crazy because of the whole, she found a blind spot, but then she wasn't crazy right now, we learned. Like, she's, like, regular.
Right.
So I was like, oh. So how would they have punished her? Like, wouldn't they have?
Maybe, though I'm wondering if this was her punishment, because hers was the last games, right?
Yeah. Oh, to be a mentor.
Yeah, because why is she not a mentor for her own district? If she was the newly one, wouldn't they want her
because she
to be
just won.
Right? So maybe
wouldn't they pick her? Okay.
Because Haymitch said earlier, like, oh, like, mentors who don't mentor their own.
We get the scraps.
They're pariahs because they can't let another tribute from a different district win.
Oh.
So maybe they were punishing her by doing this on her first, year out of the games.
First time being a mentor, and it's like to 12.
Yep.
That's it. Okay. There we go. Mm-hmm. Thank you. All right. Anything else you got here?
Oh yeah, the fact that Wyrus fought no one, killed no one. It says mentored no one, but like the fought no one and killed no one. Like she did not spill a drop of blood herself.
She went to Hunger Games. Just chilled.
And that's what Peeta wanted to do. Which is even more sad. Because he was like, I don't want to kill anyone. Like,
cut the cameras.
Rip.
And then, mentor number 2.
Who is it?
It's Mags. It's Mags, a victor from District 4. And the first thing she says, I'm so sorry about Luella
She
Haymitch.
opens her arms. It's okay to cry in front of Mags.
I love her.
She's mommy.
That is mommy.
It's not even mommy like
mommy.
No, it's like mommy. Stop, I'm gonna cry. But then we also get a little bit here because Finnick, we know Finnick, which people are messing up the timelines here, thinking that this reference here, a hysterical boy dressed in a suit made of seashells. That's not Finnick, because Finnick's games was after Haymitch.
Yeah.
But I think it's important that Suzanne put this in here because Finnick was not the first child of the games that Mags protected. Yeah. So not only is she, already showing that she's going to protect Haymitch, but also in the past here, in the games, a hysterical boy dressed in a suit made of seashells who'd just been crowned in front of the entire nation of Panem. The hysteria had triggered when they played the recap of the games, showing all 23 of his competitors' death. And this woman had held the boy and done her best as his mentor to shield him from the cameras, which were devouring every awful bit of it. So it's like every year she's been coming and protecting. Doesn't matter if it's a kid from her district or a kid from District 12.
Yep. And plus, everyone we've seen that we know of from District 4 are, like, good fucking people. So it's like, I can't see them being, like, a actual career district.
Right. I mean, it's like, just like normal society. There's some, good eggs and bad eggs. And
I love Mags.
Yeah. But, like, it's crazy that they haven't, at least that we know of, done anything to punish her for any of this.
Any of that
like
or
that. But, like, because I figure, like, if she's, with this little boy shielding him, like, that's taking away entertainment factor.
But they were eating it up. So they're probably like, oh, get him with the emotion. And just
she's, like, shielding him so that the cameras couldn't see. So when they get mad at her for shielding the view.
But then it says which were devouring every awful bit of it. So they're devouring, so, like, they liked seeing that, though.
No, I thought it was, like, they were devouring, like, him crying and also, like him crying because of games. But, like...
Yeah.
I don't know, I thought that, like, I don't know.
But I feel like that's now more of a, like, F you to the...
I guess. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Ugh. Love her. All right.
Chapter 7. Did you do the same thing I did? Yeah.
Shall I read?
Yeah. You shall.
I don't cry much in general, only when people die. And then I cry hard and fast and ugly, which is what I do now. Because Luella is dead, and I was supposed to look out for her, and I didn't. And while Lenore Dove will forever be my true love, Luella is my one and only sweetheart.
But then came Katniss. We're done.
We're done. Yeah.
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 And then I bet you that Katniss and Peeta's kids were both his little sweethearts.
Bro!
And he had his one special favorite little geese. It is my sweetheart goose. No, it just takes away from it. Never mind. And then we get a little bit more here. So in Wyrus's games, which was last year.
Yeah.
She says, so they're talking about the apartments and they're seeing where they're going to be staying. And Mags goes, it's an apartment designed for temporary rentals. They've reserved it to hold the tributes this year. We stayed in barracks last year, all 24 of us. This is more private, adds Wyrus.
So barracks, like, they were all, I keep hitting it, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
They were all in the same place? Because, like, barracks, I think of, like, you walk into a room and there's bunks everywhere. Or, like, is it like that?
Yeah.
But then how would that be safe? Because, like, wouldn't you, like, little careers at least, like, let me kill some of them now,
Maybe.
And is that why they changed it this year to be like, all right?
Maybe. And they probably had a shit ton of guards.
Yeah, I mean, true.
But who knows went on?
Yeah.
Because
from what we see here,
we never know what actually goes on.
Suzanne! Yeah.
Oh, and there's a freaking camera in the bathroom.
To make sure they don't kill themselves. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Also, though, they probably sell it.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
They go to bed. Wake up. I don't know. Do you have anything? I have until here. So Max. Okay. This is so good. Mm-hmm. This is so good.
Oh, yeah, I pinned the rest of it over here, but like, yeah.
So Mag says that I've mentored several times over the years. In the early games, I didn't ask the tributes what they wanted because the answer seemed so obvious. You want to live. But then I realized there are many desires beyond that. Mine had to do with my district partner, protecting him. I want to know what happened.
I know.
I want to know what happened.
Like, I just need Suzanne. Like, one little side book of, like, all the characters we know, like, their games. Yeah. It could be quick. It could be just,
like,
you know.
Novellas.
Yes.
Okay, and here's what I'm pissed about.
Right.
Is you have people saying, oh, so you guys are just like the Capitol for wanting to see the games. No.
No.
The difference is, this is fiction.
Yeah.
Okay? And, like,
we're not,
period.
We're not watching the games to be like, oh, like, let me just see how they're going to kill him and da-da-da. There's, like, layers behind this.
Yeah. Like, we want to understand
what they went through.
Yeah.
Was there any type of rebellion from them? Any underlying shit? Because we can see from propaganda, from the district control, shit gets twisted.
Yeah. And books are political, and we can learn things from these. Like,
plus, I want to know the people that they connected with.
Yeah.
Because we're forgetting all the tributes from before, only the main people, like, Maisley, that's my girl. Ambert, that's my guy. Like, all these people we don't know before. I want to know who they had. Like, just right here, where it's Mags. Who was her district partner?
Right.
What was their relationship like?
Yeah, why did she want to protect him so bad? Was it her brother?
Was it somebody super young? She was a little older? Was it, like, what was it?
Like, what was it? Yeah. And especially, her games was literally the one right after Lucy Gray.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sorry, I'm also interested because I'm interested in getting more of Suzanne's incredible writing. Yeah.
Plus, like, right after Lucy, they're probably like, no, we gotta fucking change. Yeah. You know, so like, what did they do?
Yeah. So I'm just like pissed that people say that.
Yeah.
Because like, okay, so you guys who love the Poppy War.
Right.
Like, you're telling me you love war and people kill, like.
Yeah.
So what does that say about you? No, it's fucking fiction.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It like, that grinds my gears.
No, like, I'm like, too, because like, bro, especially with Hunger Games, the politics, the underlying messages of everything.
Like, I'm not reading it because I want to read children killing each other.
Right.
Like, that's the least of my wants.
Because like, all the other ones are focusing on like Peeta and Katniss,
it's the emotional connections, it's the relationships, it's the humanity and understanding human nature.
Yeah, because my favorite thing in this was Haymitch and Maisley. Yeah. Like, their relationship.
Yeah. Tangent. Anyway. Yeah. So Max is asking, what do you guys want? And so, and Wyrus, she offers, I remember I didn't want to die at night. I didn't want to die in darkness. The thought terrified me. So we'll ask you now, what do you want? And they all have different answers, which again just shows that it's like, it's more than just, I want to live.
Yeah. Like, let's be specific, because then we can grab onto that specific goal and reach. Like, you have something to, like, live for, like, something to keep going for, you know?
Yeah. So Haymitch says, like, I don't want my girl, and my family to watch me die some long, horrible death. And Wyatt goes, if I'm going, I want to go fast. I don't want people who bet on my death being drawn out to make money on it. Again, that's a very like, both of these are so personal to them. And it says so much about who they are. Yeah. And I love that where Haymitch is shocked. He's like, wait, would your family take bets on that? Yeah. Yeah, they would.
That's terrible. It just makes me feel so, like, Wyatt probably grew up so lonely. Oh. And in that just, like, toxic environment with all of that. And plus, like, knowing his dad bet on me, what the specific bet, what, like,
And it's also crazy knowing later that, like, he uses his odds maker talent for his talent to show. And then he's like, Haymitch is going to win. Or, like, out of all of us, I think Haymitch.
Like, I bet on him.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I'm not saying that. I'm being fair.
Like, because he, like, even he knows. Yeah. Which is just even more sad. But then it's almost like he's telling his family. Yeah. Vote for, or, like, put your bets on Haymitch. Which is just also so horrible and sad on
plus there's no,
all
like,
the different levels.
no confidence in himself either.
Yeah.
Because he's like, well, I'm not going to go out, you know, killing kids or whatever.
Yeah. And then Maisley, I don't want to beg or plead for my life. I want to go out with my head up, which again is so Maisley. Mm-hmm. And then Luella's not there to answer. What do you think Luella would want?
I feel like hers would be like, I don't want to die alone.
Yeah.
Or like,
I could see that.
I want to go with me, or like you next to me, or, you know.
That would have been even more sad though. I'm glad we didn't get that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. But then he's like, yeah, I want all that. But I also want I want to make the Capitol pay. How do I say it when the Capitol might be watching? You know what? I like how he said it though. I want to remind people I'm here because the Capitol won the war and thinks that 50 years later, this is a fair way to punish the districts. But I like them to consider that 50 years is enough. I believe that's so politically correct to say, like, you're telling a lie, but you're not going to get in trouble for saying that, but like...
Mm-hmm. And then, again, Haymitch here just clocks it straight away. Again, it's Suzanne. She's like, you don't even have to think to understand what this book is saying. Because Haymitch spells it out right here. So... Because Maisley asks, how are you going to make them end the Hunger Games?
Yeah.
And he goes, I guess for starters, by reminding the audience that we're human beings. The way they talk about us, piglets, beasts. They called my fingernails claws. You saw those kids outside the gym, or how those kids outside the gym looked at us. Like they think of us as animals. And they think of themselves as superior. So it's okay to kill us. But the people in the Capitol aren't better than us. Or smarter. Mm-hmm. And Maisley, of course. If anything, they're stupider.
Which, like,
yeah. And Wyatt, he just says it straight out. He says, yeah, force them to admit we're people too. And they're the beasts for killing us. Okay, Wyatt. Mic drop.
Like, I don't give a fuck who's listening.
Mm-hmm. But I love here, too, is they're like, okay, well, like, strategy-wise. Yeah. I'm not as clever as Wire is. I can't outthink the arena.
Right.
And here I was like, okay, is this, like, foreshadowing? Because Wire says, well, maybe you can. The arena's just a machine, really. A killing machine. It's possible to outsmart it. Wyatt says the trick would be getting them to show it on camera. It involves killing someone else. Or if it involves killing someone else, they'd show that, says Maisley. Or killing yourself, adds Wyatt. It's something to think over carefully. You could easily put yourself or your allies at risk.
Hella foreshadowing. But also it's like, we just talking about this out in the open. With the cameras everywhere.
Maybe Plutarch is doing him a solid or something. I don't know.
Oh, the cameras are down? What?
Oh, that's so weird.
Oh, that's weird. But yeah. But then even though, like, the trick would be, like, doing it when you're killing somebody or killing yourself. But as we see...
Doesn't always work.
That doesn't always work.
But you know it does work.
What works?
Let's eat the poison berries together. Again, she didn't even know. She's like, No,
I think then she knew.
No.
Yeah. Because she was like, they're not going to, like, just have no...
But, like, I don't think she thought of it as a start of a rebellion.
Oh, no. She was just like, I'm going to save us.
Yeah, that was her thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Haymitch, if he was doing that, he'd be like, no, this is
like, fuck your games because there's two of us now.
Exactly. Katniss is like, it's emotional. I just don't want to...
I'm just trying to give us... Because, like, they want to have both of us die.
Yeah. That's
like, her whole thing's just survival.
Yeah. Or
love. It's just like an emotional response to something, not like I'm thinking of a way to rebel in this, you know?
Yeah.
But Haymitch, that's a rebellious son of a bitch. Yeah.
And I love this little Wirus song. First avoid the slaughter, get weapons, look for water, find food and where to sleep. Fire and friends can keep.
And the last one, I was trying to read. I'm like, the last.
Like, what do you think the beat of that is?
Goes like,
or like, first avoid the
slaughter. Get weapons like for water.
That's my natural instinct too.
Yeah,
like, would it be that happy?
First avoid the slaughter. Get weapons, look for water. Find food where to sleep. Fire and friends can keep. Ay! We fucking cracked that code, Suzanne. I got you. Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
That's it. Cause she's a little creepy girl.
She is.
She's a little
TikTok.
Not too. But it's so funny they even say like, you know, people were uncomfortable when she was unnerving. Like she does a weird yell.
I love that though.
I love her.
Can she be like emo?
Oh, she definitely is. I feel like she'll give like Wednesday vibes.
Yeah. I love it.
Ugh. All right. Anything else?
Okay, this was just something that I was like,
just like a little.
Yeah, like when I reread, because we of course will be rereading.
Yeah.
Mag says that the game makers sometimes hide little hints about the nature of the arena in their design. Not in the beginning, my games were so long ago, whatever, but in training, if you could call it that. So yeah, look for clues at training.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I have to go look at the Hunger Games, like the original trilogy and see.
And they do.
Do they? Do you remember like specific things?
Because I remember specifically the berries and shit. Like how they had like, look all the poison berries, da, 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 or whatever. And then they had poison berries in the thing. And there was something else. I was like, oh. I remember that specifically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if like, do you think there's hints for the other one?
I know they put the like force field, because like Katniss, you know, did the arrow for like, the next time they did the force field or whatever. And then they used the force field in the thing. So I don't know if that was like just a 2-for-1 or if that was.
Though. And Beatty.
Well, Wireless was one that like she was in on it, but then she was like, "Do you see that? They put a thing up."
Right, because that was because Katniss had done the arrow. But I think because isn't that because she shoots the force field to get the electricity and break it. So it was all a plan, like because Beatty and Wireless was in on it.
Yeah,
but that Plutarch also I think was in on it.
Either way, look, hints.
I don't know.
Hints in the training. Hints in the training. Yeah.
Because there's always been a force field, I think. Because is the force field, that's what Haymitch is throwing the rocks at and it bounces off.
Yeah, it goes like protecting the generator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it around the whole arena?
Because you said specifically around the generator.
But is it also? Because we know that like it's a fake sky.
Yeah.
So you can assume they're like screens or some like LED, right? But like is the force field around that part too?
I don't think so. Because like the way he said like it's just specifically around that, wouldn't he be like? Because I think he says like it's weird how it's not like around the whole thing, is just around the generator.
So I wonder. So is that in the 75th Hunger Games the first time they did the full force field?
That's what I think. Because then they make it a point to like. PETA, you know, he's throwing things or he walked into it and whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it's like, that was for those games. Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Do you have anything on the next?
Nope. I had a little hint. Boom. And then they walk in.
Right. Yeah, I don't have really anything.
101?
No.
Okay, cool.
But they're at training.
Yeah.
So we get to like meet a couple different districts.
And then they're throwing knives.
Yes.
Okay, right?
Yes.
We see Regina. I don't know. He's like, well, damn, I can't kill her now. Like, we're cool. And then Amber, blah, blah. But then after, who is it? Is it District 1?
Yeah, I think he like causes
a little ruckus. But then, you know, White offers me a hand up. The other tribunes gather the knives. And then there's this moment just as I get to my feet where I look around and I'm armed and they're armed. A half dozen of us hold sleek, deadly knives. And I see that there aren't many peacekeepers here today. Not really. We're outnumbering them 4-1. And if we move quickly, we could probably free up some of those tridents and spears and blah, blah, blah. And he looks at Regina. And I think, or she's thinking the same thing, when Hercelia, I think, holds out the basket. It takes her time, but then they finally
drop it in.
They drop it in. But then, is this where?
Yep. Plutarch.
Yeah, Plutarch comes and is like, or he tells, Regina, like, damn, we could have taken that moment, really done something. And then Plutarch, the question is, why didn't you do anything?
Why didn't you? Why didn't you? Why didn't you? Why do you think they didn't?
I think it's like, we could do some damage, but like, what would be the point? They lose a couple peacekeepers, we end up dead.
Yeah.
That's not gonna change anything.
But also, I think it's their humanity showing capital. Fuck you.
Like, we're not animals, we're just gonna start killing.
Yeah. Because they don't want to be killers. Mm-hmm. Like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, we could have taken them out. But like, one, I'm not trying to just kill. Like, this would straight be murder.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't no force thing. So like, straight murder, but then also, nothing would really come of that.
Yeah. And it's like, if they did, they'd just be proving the point of the capital.
Yeah.
But again, it's like the implicit submission and all that.
Mm-hmm. And then they basically, chapter 8, start.
Yeah, I literally said this whole page.
Yeah. I was like, I don't even know where I tried to the end of it, but like, yeah, all of it.
All of it.
Talk to me.
I don't even remember. Okay, so.
He's like, why didn't you do it? Mm-hmm. Because you guys have the guns. Is it really about the weapons, though? I grant you there's an advantage. On the other hand, when you consider the sheer differences in numbers, district to capital, and they're like, well, I mean, yeah, we may have won this fight, but I don't think we submitted to it, like, to their power or whatever. He's like, it's implied. You accept the capital's conditions. Because we don't want to end up dead. Do you really not see that? And he's like, no, I see all of that. And yet I still don't think the fear they inspire justifies this arrangement we've all entered into. Do you? He's like genuinely asking. Like, why do you agree with it? Why do I? For that matter, why have people always agreed to it? Well, something to think about.
Yep. Yeah, I highlighted those bits. Mm-hmm. I think from there I was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I know where Plutarch stands.
Yeah. That implicit submission, he's like, why do we do that?
Yeah.
Just something to simmer on.
Yeah, and then here, you're up, Haymitch. She offers me a knife, which I could A, throw, or B, drive into the peacekeeper's heart, ensuring my immediate death. I'm a little wobbly, but I still hit the target. And again, I just think that use of, like, target, what was his target? Because it could have been her heart, but he didn't, because his target is not to hurt anybody.
Yep. So I'm specifically saying I'm not a killer.
Right. And then you get this Capital News coverage, which right away I was just like, oh, what does that Capital News sound like?
No, literally.
Any sort of MAGA Trump news.
Yep.
Trump propaganda.
Fox News.
Fox News! Coming at you live.
But then it's just showing it's like,
Fake news!
Came off without an itch.
Yep. All good. Twisting it to what they want, their advantage.
And I think another one just confirms, like, Plutarch's like, I'm sorry, but Luella, she's a person of substance. I could see that. He was trying to, like, connect him. He's like...
And I think his wording is very specific here. Him saying she was a person of substance. To be like, I didn't actually see you guys as animals. Like, I'm with you guys.
You're not this and that.
No.
You're a person.
You're a person. Yep.
And then we see more of Maisley.
Yeah.
Being just so sweet and, like...
So I saw a video of someone talking about this specific moment because Haymitch is talking to Maisley and Wyatt, telling them, like, about, hey, the alliance, and, like, we have to be nice to everybody, and specifically talking about Regina, and Regina's black, and she has braids in her hair. And Haymitch gives Maisley a hard stare. You have to be nice. Don't comment on her hair. Don't comment on her nails. Don't comment on how she looks in brown. Don't ask to examine her pin because you're an authority on jewelry. Maisley sniffs, I like her hair. So people were pointing this out, saying that like right away, it was like a comment on racism.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if you want to speak more on that.
No, I just thought it was cool that he was like, I'm going to automatically assume that you're racist.
Right, because she's a white, blonde, blue-eyed.
White, blonde, blue-eyed.
Rich, quote-unquote.
Had, you know, was there the capital of District 12, basically. So just like those, not prejudice, maybe prejudice of what he thought about her.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, I think her hair is cool.
Yeah.
You know? But I like that there was a point that like, there's racism even in the districts.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 Because I didn't clock that at first.
No, I seen that. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And then she said, I like her hair. I was like, Maisley!
I like.
Yeah.
But it's those little things. And again, this is why I love deep dives, and this is why I love watching people's, like...
God, I was watching it all today, too.
Right? I know, like on TikTok, because it's like, oh, the things that I missed, or like, because of my white privilege and shit, like, I wouldn't have noticed that.
Yeah.
But someone else is able to point that out and be like, oh, I can see, like, I can now add that into my perspective while reading it. And I just think that's what's so beautiful about, one, the community of people like us and you guys, and then also the genius of Suzanne Collins.
Like, just the subtleties.
Yeah. And again, I'm sure that we're missing so many things.
100%.
And so, like, if you guys have, like, links to videos of like
other
people,
things you caught or that you've heard other people, like, catch, like...
let us know in the comments, or, like, DM us on Instagram at the.tbr.podcast, because we are eating it
consuming
any single thing, all the edits.
All
the fan
I was late about to start crying today.
I just know that once we have the movie,
it's done.
And the edits come out,
it's done. Because when they do the comparison between there and then Hungry,
I can already see the sweetheart. No, I'm gonna be in my grave.
When you see Luella die, and then we see Rue die.
Yeah, November 20th. R.I.P. Kelsey Weber.
Literally.
Your edits made her cry. Okay, back to it. We're almost through it.
Oh, back to it. We're almost through it.
Yeah, if you want to take your little snack break, take a little pee break.
Little pee break. Are you good?
I'm good. Are you good?
No, I'm good.
Okay, we're good. Are you good? You're good, okay.
Oh, no, tell me why. Okay, first we see Maisley, all right? She's, like, locked in, doing little jewelry. She's, like, connected. We love her, okay?
Being big sis. Do you think that she was the firstborn twin? I feel like it's giving that.
Yeah. Was that... Did we already see that?
No, not yet. Will she... Yeah, no, that's at the very end. Will she still be a twin? Oh, it kills me every time.
Oh, no, wait, where's the other thing? Did we see it yet? The, sister?
No, I don't think so. Wait, what? About Luella?
No, Ampert.
Having a sister?
No, like... Will you be my sister?
Oh, I don't think so. Because I feel like I would have tapped that shit.
I know I did. I'm just like, where?
Okay, I don't know where they're
there. Okay.
But...
We see Maisley doing her thing, right?
And we just had Wires.
We
just had Max.
All of a sudden...
I want you to meet my father. Or my father wants to meet you.
He at the booth with the potato.
Huh? Booth with the potato?
Pause. Your father? He's at the booth?
With a potato?
He's like, oh, he's losing his mind. What do you mean,
he's
father?
Crazy.
After making a lap around the crowded booth, sure enough, I find one. A small man with black hair. His back to me, leans against a counter holding a lone potato. No takers for his skills. As he turns, I note the pair of steel-rimmed glasses, while he bears a strong resemblance to Ampert. That's not why he looks familiar. It's Beatty, a Victor from District 3.
I have a new fan cast for him. That I saw that, I was like, that eats.
I see another one.
Is it the one that from the, I think, what's his name, Chance?
Never mind.
No. What's their name?
Because I was trying to do like some sort of math, and I think he'd be in like his 30s, like early 30s.
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking too. There's an actor, and they were in Pokemon. Or, right? Was that what it was? The Pokemon movie?
Yeah.
Wait, was it Pokemon? What was it? You know what I mean? Not Sonic. It was with... They were also in All the Bright Places with Elf.
My boy? Justice?
Yeah, Justice.
Is Justice Smith?
No. Yes. As Beatty.
That's my guy. That's my guy. But do he look 30? He don't look like he could be 30 or like early 30s.
Is Justice is they are non-binary? I thought they were non-binary, but maybe not.
Oh,
but everything else is saying he. But Camtros and all the other things. I thought that they came out as non-binary, but I could be wrong.
Wait, that sounds so familiar. Actually, my bad, Justice. That's my person.
Yeah, no, they're like 29. Yeah, they're 29.
I don't care about their age. What they look like. Could that be someone who's married, has a 12-year-old son?
Yeah, they don't like that. But no, we'll give them the glasses and...
No, absolutely. If it was like, this is Beatty before he has a kid. Or like, he's a young married person with a baby, like boom. But a 12-year-old kid?
But like, that's the age.
No. Look, you know who I just saw recently. And I was like... As a young him, they said, and they're like, hey, don't laugh, but look.
I'm laughing. What?
Corbin Blue.
I saw that. I don't like that. I didn't like that.
I was like,
get your head in the game.
You gotta get you. Yeah.
Image. Get your head in the game.
Oh.
No, that would like actually ick me out a little bit. No hate to Corbin Blue.
I don't know, I'd have to like see it for real, but I was like, it's not terrible.
The only things that I've seen Corbin Blue in recently are like Hallmark movies and obviously Disney Channel.
Yeah.
So the acting I don't think is up to the caliber, but I maybe he hasn't gotten a chance to really
He hasn't got a chance.
show his chops.
To show his chops. I was just strictly going off of
looks.
Beatty, make him a little bit younger, 30s.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And by this time, he's in his 30s. He looks old enough to have a 12-year-old son.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah.
I don't know if I'm really cutting like that for real. But anyways.
Well, we got Beatty. And I'm just like, this is fucking crazy shit.
And then straight out the gate, hey, I'm Beatty. Hey, you're probably wondering why I'm here. Brrr.
Yeah. And not only just like, yeah, they put your son in the games. Like, I'm sure that there are other victors. No, of course, they assigned him to coach his own child to his death. I wonder how Amber feels.
Because he seems so like cheery and like, no, my dad's gonna help me and da-da-da.
But like deep down, it's like, one, like you could die, but also the reason you're here is because your dad. Is because of your dad.
But I feel like they're both so analytical. They're like, I mean, obviously it's like, it's
sure.
crazy. It's like, well, that's how it is.
I know.
Let's just try to figure this out and get through, you know?
But like, if that were me, I would have that in the back of my head.
No, yeah.
No, I mean, like, this is what has to be done. But, shit.
But just to know that Beatty really made that impact to be like, if we could kill you, we would. But we're not gonna just kill your family. That's too easy. We gotta make sure it's like
personal.
Yeah.
But
we're gonna put your kid in the game. We're gonna have you coach him. We're gonna have you watch him die.
And the fact that Beatty continues, even within this game, to break the rules because he turns off the security, whatever, for Haymitch to go talk to whoever. Like, he's not backing down.
Knowing, later that we see, or maybe he said here, he has a wife and child.
Right. Also. And we know that in the Hunger Games, no mention.
Yeah.
of him having a current wife or child. But it's like, what are you willing to sacrifice to do what's right? And
Beatty's my guy.
He's going to sacrifice everything.
At the end of the day, Gale is really the one that did that whole bomb ship. He just asked Beatty, hey, just like a little cute little thing I'm trying to figure out. He's like, yeah, I'm going to help you because I'm just a smart guy.
Beatty made them, but I don't think Beatty said when to drop them or where to drop them. That was all Gale. So at the end of the day,
Beatty is my fucking guy.
Yeah.
I'll support him.
Because also, when they were asked in Mockingjay, okay, let's vote on, are we going to put the Capitol's children? And he voted no.
Knowing that they put his son in the games.
And not only his son, he was put in the games. So he's seen it from both sides. From all three sides. All the sides he could possibly have. And he still said no. I love him. Yep.
Let's see what he said.
What does he say?
He's like, I can't even be low-key about this.
Yeah.
You're Ampert's father? Right off the bat. I am. And no doubt you're wondering why I'm here, Mitch. It's because I'm being punished for coming up with a plan to sabotage the Capitol's communication system. I'm too valuable to kill, but my son is disposable. And they made you his mentor? It's part of the punishment. Watching what are most certainly the last hours of my son's life. They even gave me a booth in training, which mentors don't usually attend, so I wouldn't miss a minute.
Yep. And then Haymitch, of course, like, the first reaction is, like, to console. And so he says, this isn't your fault. And Beatty says, no, but it is, entirely. I took a risk. I didn't suspect that I'd be found out until the reaping. So he knew that he'd be found out.
Yeah.
He just thought, oh, yeah, the timing was calculated. I fucked up. If I'd known, I could have killed myself. And Ampert would be safe at home. That is how Snow works.
It's interesting why, like, if you just, like, I can do whatever I want, you know, like, let's rebel, da-da-da-da. If I just kill myself, everybody else will be safe. Which is weird, like, why wouldn't the Capitol still, or, like, Snow still kill the whole family?
They might. They might.
Because, like, I mean, like, here he specifically states, like, I should have killed myself and I could have saved them. And then later, Snow's like, hey, your whole family will be safe because you're going to be dead.
I know.
You know? It's weird how it's just the one person, not like, we're going to punish it either way with your whole family.
I think it's a control tactic, but I don't think that necessarily means that, like, they wouldn't kill the family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, even if you killed yourself.
Yeah. Because also, you're dead, and how would you know?
True. Interesting. It was like, that keeps bringing up, and I'm like, why would it just be?
It's just a tactic.
You know?
I think. Yeah.
Interesting. But I love Beatty, straight off the bat. Yeah, I'm Beatty, and you're probably wondering, well, because I made a plan to do the communication system, and they're going to put my son in easy as a...
Yep. Well, because that's what happens, and everyone knows. Because what does he have to hide at this point, right?
Yep.
So we see him being taught about the potato and the
light source. Yeah.
And then again, they're talking about, oh, well, Wirus called the arena a machine. And Beatty's like, yeah, well, you say that. Well, let me tell you. And so Haymitch is like, so if it's a machine, it can be broken, right? And Beatty's like clocked in. He's like, yeah. Again, his eyes go to Ampert. Yes, in theory, practice is always a bit trickier. Now let's connect our potatoes. Because he's thinking, oh shit, we have our plan. Maybe
if I can give somebody else who's on the same wavelength with us, one, make sure, help my boy.
Yeah.
But two, make sure this shit gets done.
Yep. Because then they're talking about all of this, kind of like double meanings here. And what would break it, Beatty? Oh, the circuit? Because again, he's like, he sees that people are watching. He's giving the things. And yeah, a peacekeeper or something comes up.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, you just gotta about the potato, right?
And here, I just thought it was interesting because Haymitch is 16.
Yeah.
Right? And yeah, he's like in the game. He doesn't know he's going to win.
Yeah.
But who is he making alliances with right now? The victors. He's already starting that. That's going to come up.
Yeah.
In the 75th.
Yeah.
I just thought that was really
I love that.
Interesting. And then he's like, thanks, sir.
Light little thing.
I'm gonna learn how to do that.
I can't right now because I just read it again.
I know.
So, it's good to meet you.
You didn't see that, did you?
Maybe something smaller.
Yeah, no. Like I was trying to go hard.
No, we were trying to go hard. We were trying to like, go to 10.
Yeah, go 10.
Well, we gotta like.
I'll start at 1 later. But what comes up?
But then. So, Maisley finishes a little necklace. Amber's like, wow, it's beautiful. It's perfectly symmetrical. I wouldn't even believe it's all one strand. You're so clever. And you have good taste. Maisley's like replying. He's like, I wish you were my sister. And then she's like, I'll be your sister. Great, I'm gonna go show my father.
She really is a sister of the games. Yeah. Also, though, we're gonna hold on that moment.
Yeah.
But I want to go back another second because I just had a thought.
We tried to reel out about, okay?
About Haymitch talking with Beatty and stuff.
Okay.
And so Beatty, who has his own son in this game, he's still talking to Haymitch and giving him tips and stuff. And like, yes, there is a hope that like he'll help Ampert and stuff, but like.
But same thing with like Mags, where it's like, we're just gonna help whoever we can.
Exactly.
So it's not just like a.
Yes.
Just our people.
Exactly. And again, even Wyrus too, because she's not 12.
Yep. And she's like, this is how you gotta figure it out. Like, we're not talking about districts. We're not, I'm all helping these are children.
These are children.
Going to die, kill each other, be attacked in the games. We gotta help them.
And then, of course, it's these 3 people. The first 3 people that Katniss in Catching Fire wants to ally with. Yep.
Too many things back to back.
I know. And then I love this. So, Ampert, he comes back and they're all having lunch or something. And Haymitch says, Ampert, this is your show. Why don't you tell us what you've got in mind? Talking about like the alliance and everything. But the word show. You know who I thought of?
Who did you think of?
Miss Newsting. Because she says to Snow, she's like, oh, this isn't our show, honey. This is the Capitol's. And was it the show's not over until the Mockingjay sings? Because this is a show.
It was a fucking performance.
Propaganda. And then, they're like, why don't we form an alliance?
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Amber, everyone acts like the odds aren't in our favor, but I'm sure we can beat those odds.
Right. But it's also like, why hasn't this happened more frequently? Or maybe it has, and we just haven't seen it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, anything we can question, how do we know?
I know. Because even this alliance was not shown. Because Katniss doesn't say anything about there being an alliance. Because they edited it out. Yep. Even Haymitch, at the very end, it's like...
Oh, when they showed it, I was like, oh, they just totally
took it out. So, like, I wonder if they're,
But that's why I would need to see the other games.
But I'm curious, like, why do they let the careers have their alliance? Their multi-district alliances?
It's probably for show, because I feel like the closer you are to the districts, the more, like, brainwashed from the propaganda you are.
Right.
So it's like, no, let's keep them as, like, a pact and make them, because it'll help carry on the games and make it interesting. And
because their alliance is in the vision of the Capitol, while an alliance like this...
It's more of a rebellious standpoint.
Yeah, it's very not, right?
Yeah.
And then his little doves. With their little dove-colored clothes, and it seems like a sign. It's sad and sweet. And they come up with their names.
Yeah.
Which, I mean...
It's nothing crazy.
Newcomers.
For the newcomers.
Yeah. I think I would have liked the long shots.
I know, I kind of like that.
But
also, like, do you want to say you're a long shot?
But But who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Are you gonna go for the newcomer? Either?
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah. I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
Anything else out here? Oh,
I had something here. So, Wyatt seems to have found his people, talking about the odds. It's Maisley who surprises me. Back home, she isn't popular. She's known. She's not respected. She's feared. Not deferred to, but avoided. Here, following Ampert's leads, kids bring her their district trinkets and ask her to make them special. And she agrees. And her district trinket, which she didn't bring because, but the Mockingjay pin makes it special. Her poster.
It's her fucking poster.
The Mockingjay pin. So I just thought that was like, because all of them are bringing her.
Yeah.
Like, please, like help me make this my trinket for my district thing. And her thing being Katniss's, chef's kiss, Suzanne. Chef's kiss.
And I feel like she's even Katniss is almost like Maisley as well.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
Eating, I don't give a fuck or whatever, very I don't care what y'all want me to look like or say or be careful. I'm just gonna say what I want and do what I want,
But also she's big sister.
Big fucking sister.
Yeah, because her to Rue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah! So good.
And then Plutarch. Yeah, I need just Abernathy. He approaches me, his face unreadable. Yeah, I'm afraid there's been a last-minute schedule change. Just for me, just for you. It seems the president had second thoughts about your performance. Luella under the balcony, snow up above, while I applauded for all the capital to see. This is where I pay for painting my poster. What did you think was going to happen? Because I wasn't expecting this.
I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting this is how we're gonna kill your girl. We have her, or you need to be our spy, or more like we're gonna use you now for real.
Yeah. I was like, this is where he's gonna get threatened with the death of his friends or his family and Lenore.
Yeah.
I was like,
same.
Yeah.
Because then, Chapter 9.
But here, I love this. Again, every beginning chapter, I was just like, 8. A fragile collection of muscles and bones, a few quarts of blood, wrapped up in a paper-thin package of skin. That's all I am. As I pass through the doors of this marble fortress, I have never felt more breakable. It's poetry.
Yeah, because in the moment, you're like, you know what? Fuck you, whatever.
Right.
But it's like, oh, I really am just a 16-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And he is the leader of Panem. Mm-hmm. The most brutal, most powerful man.
Right. And there are things worse than death.
Yes.
Like your own death. Right.
And the Avox.
Right. So I was like, okay, so there's Avoxes. They know about the Avox.
Right.
So I'm curious again, when did that practice start?
I know.
And why? How? Whose games? Because I would have to assume that it started with games.
Yeah. Because in my head, for when they started mentioning Avox, I was like, oh, shit. Because the Covey, it used to be very musically sing. Did they do that to Luella? I mean, not Luella, Lenore Dove? Because,
that's what I thought.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
I thought that too. Yeah.
Especially when he's, mentioning the Avox, I was like, oh,
I thought that they were going to have her there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what I thought.
Because it makes sense to be like, oh, she's singing. She's with the Covey. But, oh, you don't have, your little voice to sing.
Yep. That's exactly what I thought.
The whole songbirds and the
especially because we don't know the Covey in Katniss's version.
Right. So it's the only thing from Covey is just a musical instrument. There's no music.
Crazy. But yeah, so this is Plutarch's house.
Yeah.
And we see all these portraits of It's an arched hallway lined with life-size paintings of haughty people in fine, old-fashioned clothes. Each holds an object, a scale, a harp, a ruby-studded cup that seems meant to define them. Plutarch gestures indifferently. Meet the heavens bees. So it's interesting that he gestures indifferently. Like, he's almost, like, a little ashamed, or he's like, oh, yeah, like, I know I'm very extremely rich, and, like, you're not.
Yeah.
Because, like, I know we mentioned, like, how far back in his family
did this start,
or is it just him?
Well, because, like, if we go to Ballad of Songbird and Snakes, Sejanus, like, his father, like, they weren't, like, they just became rich, you know, so they're like, okay, now we're rich and whatever. But, so he didn't really have anyone to treat him that way, to make him, like, a rebellious person, but then he ended up becoming, like, a rebel. So, like, is that just him? Like, in a way?
Well, Sejanus, I mean, I think there were, because he came from the districts.
I mean, where did he come from? 2 to 1? Or he went to 2?
Who, Sejanus?
Yeah.
So, I think they were either 1 or 2,
yeah,
but they went to the capital.
Oh, yeah, they went from 2 to capital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's like he saw what it was like in the districts and how they were treated.
But if you're in 2, which are, like, career districts, you
know.
But
still.
And plus, we see that's where the peacekeepers come from. That's where the careers come from. So, what do you think? There's, like, heavy propaganda in that?
I'm sure there is, but the youth.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that he saw, and I mean, just being alienated in the capital, because they're never going to be capital people.
Yeah.
I mean, he sees injustice everywhere, and now, like, with that layered on the layer, and now seeing kids and having to be their mentor and getting to know the district kids and knowing, because they knew each other.
Yeah.
The person that he was mentoring was someone he knew.
Yeah, he went to school with.
So it makes it personal.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I could totally see where all of that would lead to him rebelling.
But
for Plutarch, where does that come from?
Right. Because did that end up being in the similar thing where, like, they didn't start off as capital or district 1 or whatever, and that's what made them, like...
We saw Heavens Be in Ballad.
Oh, yeah, we did.
So they've been capital.
But, like, before that?
I would assume they would be capital.
Just always, you think?
I think so.
Because I'm just saying, like, was it always, like, low-key?
Just because of how rich they are?
Yeah.
I think so. Because they've
been... just a one-off.
Maybe. Or maybe they've just been all really good at playing the game.
Yeah.
In his family. But who knows?
Because, like, before he's, you know, talking about Trajan, Heavens Be, blah, blah, it's like the only one who's been of any use, really.
It's because this was his library.
Is the library just specifically of that?
I think so.
So is that him hinting, like, the only thing my family came from was, like, this library, but, like...
So I guess maybe,
It's like him hinting, like...
There's no one else who...
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I could see that. I could see that.
Anything else out here?
I liked this quote from Plutarch. Reading in general isn't a popular pastime in the capital. It's a shame. Everything you need to know about people is right here in this room.
So did reading in that library change his mindset?
Maybe. But I also think that says so much about the capital. Again, it's like, you're just taking whatever's being given to you, like spoon-fed to you, as propaganda.
Right.
And you're not going out and doing your own research, your own, like...
Plus, like, they don't really need to take the time to, like, whitewash or whatever, like, these books and stuff. So, like, could these all just be, like banned books? You know how, like, now they would just whitewash to be like, oh, let's get the narrative we want.
Yeah, and, like literally
capital
banned
doesn't
books.
even read, so we don't even have to touch the books. So then these were all, like, true books. You know, that's why he became, like, himself, you know?
I could see that.
Yeah.
And then again, I don't drink from Hamish.
And it even gets worse. Because I don't know how to say it. Nepenthe.
Yeah, that sounds right. Nepenthe.
But it's like, oh, you mean da-da-da the Nepenthe and forget this lost Lenore? Because she said quath means to drink, usually something with alcohol. And the guy telling the story in the song is trying to stop thinking about how he lost his true love.
And we know what this is. This is the Raven. By Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe. Which is where we have Lenore's name.
Yep.
And then he right there says, his true love. He lost his true love. And he just said, Lenore's my true love.
Yep. I think the important part is it makes you forget terrible things. And that's why he turns to drinking.
I'm done. Close the book.
It's so sad. It is sad to see Haymitch spiral.
Yeah.
And knowing why.
Yeah.
Ugh. And then again, just like the conversation between Haymitch and Plutarch here. Plutarch is just like, he's just talking to him.
Yeah.
And Haymitch is like, what is his angle?
Yeah.
And he thinks like, oh, there he goes again, trying to make me feel human. Because he's
like, oh, why would I trust you?
Yeah.
Why are you talking like, we already know you like stack the card stacking and this and that. So it's like, what's your angle with all this,
Yeah. And here, okay. Mm-hmm. I was not expecting this.
I was like, what the fuck is going on?
For Snow. Yeah. Because he's got a raspy growl.
He's coughing,
wiping his brow. Like, ugh. He's, white as a sheet, perspiring, breathless, his regal bearing abandoned as he hunches over his gut. I'm like, hello?
I'm trying to remember. Songbird and Snakes.
Yep.
I know he poisons his mentor, or the guy who created games, like, at the end.
Yeah.
Was there any hint of, like, taking poison? Like, wasn't there something?
It's hinted in the original trilogy that he has...
That's where I remember it.
He doses himself with the poison.
Yes.
Yeah, so that he's immune to it.
Yes.
Yep. And we find out, that's what he did.
Yeah.
Because he goes, oh, yeah, the guy who did the chariots, oh, yeah, he won't be with us anymore.
Sure won't. But then also, just because I didn't realize it till the end, I need milk and bread.
He needs his milky.
Why is it milky?
Why is it milk, though?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
To soak it up?
I guess. But that would be the bread. What would the milk do?
To give you substance. So you don't,
I just thought, baby needs his milky.
But then to know how that comes up later.
Yeah. And we'll talk about that. Yep, because, talking about a bad batch of oysters, food poisoning, but I fared far better than Ignatius Lumi. The parade master? Oh, was he? Snow loves to be dramatic. And you know what? I kind of love that for him.
Only with pizzazz.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what?
Because, like, I'm feeling.
Hey, look. If Snow's gonna do something, he's gonna do it with pizzazz.
Thank you. Wants to make sure.
The games? He did it with pizzazz. You saw what it was in Lucy Gray. No, he said...
We're gonna up our shit right now. A little sprinkle of pizzazz here. A little bit there.
Horrible man. But
horrible.
He's got style.
But give credit where credit's due. But then, again, with a ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, he starts talking about District 12, He's like, wait, where is he? Oh, yeah, his insults disturb me less than his familiarity with District 12. He's like, how do you know so much?
Yep.
Continuing forward, that's a striking necklace. We stop there for a second.
And he's like,
striking? Striker?
Does he know?
Does he know? Did he know?
I don't think so.
That was just very...
I think it was just like...
his little striking necklace.
Yeah, but maybe he...
Because it, like, reminded him of maybe Lucy?
Yeah. Well, it definitely reminded him of Lucy, but I don't know why he did striking. I didn't think that he would know. But I don't know.
Because then, like, if he didn't know...
Because how would you know? By just looking at it. None of us knew. From the cover. I was like, I did not think that was a flint striker. What do you think? No. I was like, is it trying to be a harp? Like,
Oh, the crown?
Yeah.
I don't know what that part was. Yeah. But anyways, then he goes to talk about, let me see it, da-da-da. He sees it. He's like, Lenore? Let me guess.
Yeah, because there's an inscription, LD.
Yeah. Daffodil. Or what, doesn't he? Is this him? He's like, but that's not how they work. Perhaps something in nature, like amber or ivory. Daffodil, dandelion, da-da-da-da. No, that's not a color at all.
Lenore, what? I'm stumped. Tell me.
Dove! Da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, because Hamish is like, okay, he knows Lenore Dove is Covey. Only they name their children that way. Like, how would he know? And then, yeah. Oh, Dove. I have always heard Dove color, though. It's a bit of a cheat. But who would resist when you get both the color and the bird? And we know how they feel about their birds. This man cannot let...
Bitter!
Your ex that you possibly murdered
40 years ago.
Bro can't get over it. And they say women are emotional?
No, this man.
This is the queen of emotion.
He continues on. Like...
Oh, like she's delightful to look at, swishes around in bright colors and sings like a mocking jay. You love her, and oh, how she seems to love you. Except sometimes you wonder, because her plans don't include you at all. Why are you...
Bro, you're 18. You are an old-ass man right now.
projecting?
He's like... I mean, not exactly, but it's kind of close.
But, like, it's weird that he would, like, think that it's even close to me. Like, yeah, like, she's, like, the beginning part, sure. Yeah. Like, she's pretty, she's, like, bright colors and she can sing. Yeah, I love her. But, yeah, I know that she loves me, too. And, like, what do you mean all her plans don't include me? Like...
Yeah. I think maybe because, like, then he goes to talk about, like, she loves the open road, and she's done all these little things, but she doesn't, like, told me that was her for real.
Okay. But she was breaking the fucking law.
Yeah.
And she didn't want you to be...
Yeah. Like, tied to that.
Yeah.
But he was like, okay, if I have to, I can, like, connect.
It's so dumb. But, yeah. So Snow is trying, like... To me, it's like he's trying to connect with Hamish.
Yeah. Which is weird.
Yeah.
Because why?
Because he sees himself. That's what I was saying before in the first episode of this.
There's some parallels.
Yeah. And then here, on the good side, with you out of the picture, Lenore Dove and your family should be free to enjoy long and happy lives. Which again...
A tactic.
Right.
But then, like, boom, you kill yourself. Oh, okay. No, it makes sense. Like, don't continue further. Don't be doing anything stupid. Because, like...
Yeah. It's a threat.
You die, you're good, but they are not going to be good. Whatever. Yep. Yeah.
And here's really interesting. So Snow knows that one of Hamish's worst fears are the mutts. Because he says, you might get stabbed or strangled or die of thirst. Death by mutt tends to be the most memorable. We have some beauties this year, programmable to serve individual tributes. Games are rigged. Again. Period. Which we find out later that, like, it's not necessarily him that they're rigged for. But I was expecting more from that. I thought that, like, from the very beginning, they were going to hunt him down.
Oh, like, it was Hamish from the beginning.
Yeah, like, I thought that they were going to, like, mutts were going to be sent after Hamish with that line.
Yeah. But it's just interesting because, like, so anyone who's ever won, were they... specific, like, we're gonna let that one win.
Probably sometimes, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure sometimes. I mean, because that was what they were saying about Phoenix games, was everything seemed to be in his favor.
Yeah.
Right, because it was, like, water, he had the trident. And I wonder if, like, there was something with his games where it was, like, because obviously we know that his future went into... being SA'd. And, like, it's like, I wonder if, like, when they were reaped, if someone saw him and was like, I'll pay big bucks for him to win because I want him
I think it was, like,
something
during that, like, before the games, hype about everyone. He's a district. Everyone was like, or career, a lot of people were like, he is gorgeous and da-da-da-da. So he's like, oh.
Yeah, 14. just want to simmer on that for a second.
Yeah. So they seen that, they said, oh, okay, you know what? Let me do a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Fucking
Nasty.
disgusting.
And we get the iconic snow lands on top. He loves that though. He's like, snow lands on top.
Snow
lands on top. Because that was invalid.
Yeah. Hide and seek's over. You can join us now. Tell me why I freaked out. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh shit. I have a belated birthday gift for you. So I was like, oh my god.
Did you think it was Lenore?
Lenore's gonna come out. A-Box.
Me too.
Gonna come out. And then we turn. Standing in the doorway is Luella McCoy.
And we had to stop reading at this point.
Yeah. Because, and then, part 2.
This is, okay, I'm gonna tell you guys a little secret. This was why we decided to read the whole book and do a deep dive instead of actual book club like we did with Addie LaRue.
Yeah.
Part of the reason. Because it's also all of you guys have read this book. You guys had,
I know, I saw people the day after it came out, boom, already consumed.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit.
As you should.
Yeah.
And so we were like, okay, well, 1, most of you guys will have read it already. But then 2, we couldn't put it down.
Because standing in the doorway is Luella McCoy.
What do you mean?
But she just died. What do you...
So we had to...
So we're like, bro...
We were like, hey, so, what if we
just read it all? And then yeah. Yeah.
So...
That was why.
Yep, that was why. At first, I will say, my thoughts of seeing Luella, I said, is it a mutt to put in the games so no one knows she's died?
Right.
So,
basically.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was like, because he had just mentioned mutts here.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, is she a new type of mutt?
Yeah.
But it was just another little girl that they made look like, obviously.
Which is kind of creepy.
Which is even more insane.
Yeah.
But...
Because, what didn't in the original Hunger Games, they, the tributes that died, they, use their eyes or faces to make the mutts, you know? So
that's
did they
implied.
started here was, they used her skin or, something to, so they looked like her. And I was like... Oh. Was that a tie to that?
Yeah. Crazy shit.
No, but this shit was getting good.
Yeah. Are you still stuck at your 4.75 rating?
I'm at the 4.75 rating.
Okay.
I don't think, it's going to change my mind with just the last. It's just the pacing at the end.
I'm so mad at you.
But, we're only on, this much in. So once we start deep diving even more, I'll probably be like, damn.
I know. It's just crazy how good this book is.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. My brain is dead.
I'm so thankful that we got this book.
Thank you, Suzanne Collins.
Thank you.
For your light and love and mind and laptop and fingers to type. Thank you for this bread.
It's my need for Hunger Games is still sated right now.
Yeah. I need the movie though.
But I need the movie and then I need the next one.
Do you think she's gonna write another one?
Some people said they think, I definitely think it's gonna be a trilogy. We have three trilogy, it just makes sense. But some people say it's they, based on Hunger Games, the first one was the original, and then this is the second one, which is the big one, and the last one's the rebellion wrap up or whatever. Some people think it's gonna be the original.
Oh, the actual fight?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we have our own theories.
I like ours better, and I hope it's ours.
We are gonna save our theory though.
Yeah.
For the very end. For the last bit. So stay tuned, watch along, read along, reread the parts if you want with us. Next week, we'll be going over part 2, The Rascal, chapters 10 through 14.
Yeah.
But if you forget, follow us on Instagram at the.tbr.podcast, where we have our calendar, and you can see exactly what chapters we're going to be deep diving into every Friday. It's good shit. We'll have a playlist on YouTube of these, so if you ever, skip a day, it'll be there.
Yeah.
Super easy to find. Subscribe, comment your thoughts, theories, anything that we missed, because we are Eager for more.
Yeah.
Eager for more.
Any crumb you give me, give it to me.
Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.